These voting machines will be in polling places across Madison County, but before then, the public put them to the test.
It's really a layer of transparency, so the public is ensured that we're doing a proper job with the election.
Folks marked a sample ballot of their choice. They also randomly selected a machine to tabulate their vote. Probate Judge Frank Barger says these practice voters ran a series of scenarios.
They overvoted, undervoted, marked things incorrectly, and then compared the results from their ballots to the actual report from the machine.
Sheriff Kevin Turner is an election official also. He says his duty is to make sure the ballots are secured and transported safely.
Anytime you start talking about elections or someone voting, or they want to know when they walk in there that everything is in order, and that's part of our job. That's one of our biggest responsibilities as far as I go, as far as the security goes.
Judge Barger believes this is an important part of the election.
There are many, many components to the election, and this is, we in every step of the way try to ensure that there's transparency, that both parties are engaged, that candidates are engaged, and that the public's allowed to witness any part of the process.
And every machine has been tested twice before the public has had a chance to test them themselves. Putting the Valley first, Kenesha Dees, WZDX News.